everyone, my name is Owen Megabinao and welcome to HYVA. What I do here is I empower entrepreneurs to be able to focus on their income producing activities. And today I have one of my clients, Matt Brown from Frederick PR Today, to come on here and so we can learn from his story. So how much type of work was dependent on you before you hired a VA?
Well, and I think this also kind of goes into what you were sort of asking before, was what inspired me to get a VA. And the answer was that there was actually two particular months where I had more money, more business than I could handle. And it wasn't that all that money was coming in. It was I had to do the work to receive the money. There were contracts and that, and I couldn't possibly fulfill it all. So then I thought, well, if I can't fulfill it all, then I can't grow. So by getting started with the virtual assistants, I've been using them as a process development resource, saying, okay, what is it that I have to do, and what is it that somebody else can do for me? And if somebody else can do this for me, what is it that they need to know? So since I started working with you guys, one of the biggest problems that I had, one of the selling points, was I spent about an hour. I definitely spent an hour a day just processing all the emails that go into my email account, just so that I could figure out what was important and what I needed to see. And now, I mean, it's actually kind of cool. My inbox is actually empty.
Wow.
With the exception of the 100,000 emails that came in maybe 3 months before the VAs were there. But each day, a little bit of that gets processed more and more because we get down to zero, which is really cool.
So let's see if we can paint this correctly so the audience can understand. Before you hired a VA, it was more about the thinking of you had all this work come in, but because of the limited amount of hours that you have personally as the person that's doing the work to handle them, you said, you know what, you cannot do the work yourself, which means that you're going to end up losing the money because the money gets paid when the work is done. So you essentially said,
Right.
let me go ahead and hire a virtual assistant so that I can free up more time and handle this task so I can get paid. Right. That was the inspiration as to why you went ahead, right?
Right.
And so I'm also curious now. You've given us an example of how things was in regards to a snippet of what kind of email, the load of emails that come into you daily, and what it is now. But anyone who's listened to this, obviously, will say, but you probably would have had some initial fears and reservations about hiring a VA. And if you don't mind, what were those initially?
Yeah. So initially, my budget was really cash strapped. So to be able to just in terms of small operations, it was a line item expense. And what did I do? I looked around at several different people that offered what you do, and I could get into why I went with you over them if you
That
want.
would be nice. We want as much information. I mean, feel free to
Yeah.
share their name if you want, but if you don't, you just
I
give
don't
us an.
exactly remember their
Okay.
names. It was several. I think there was one called Tasks Every Day and one called I don't remember the other one. But anyways, what I thought that you did that got me interested very much was the very first time I went to talk to you, because I've been wanting to work with a VA for a long time.
Yeah.
I said to you, I want to work with someone. It's a lot of money for me. You said, do you have your systems in place? And I said, no. And then you said, well, here's what I recommend is go to basically these places where you could hire people temporarily just on the spot and so forth and practice a few systems. I don't want your business until you have some systems, because I want to be able to actually help you, and I don't think you're ready for our help yet. And then so I was really impressed with that. And then about 6 or 7 or 8 months later, I still didn't have much systems in place. But I did identify the hour a day that I was spending on email that I could turn into a system. So then that's when I began, okay, I looked at you again, I looked at Task Every Day, I looked at a few other places, and something that you did that I can remember that I really liked was you offered basically a free trial to give it a try. And it was through that I was able to say, okay, can I serve up this email issue and can somebody else take care of it for me? And I remember when that first got done, I got so excited. I didn't do anything that day. I mean, it's not that I didn't do anything. I took a lot of time off. I went, whoa, okay, that's resolved. Whew. So and so to answer why you guys was because of the way you structured it. Initially, you said, I don't want your business. I want to help you in the long run. I don't want to do something just onesie twosie. And then secondly, the being able to take it one step at a time with an intro first, and then go 1 month later and see what would do with that. That was great.